The boys are back in town. I can't sing for shit, but it was a good intro for this. Hey, what's going on, my street people? It's DS Pyro coming in with another video. Today we're actually going to be doing an actual review. I know it's been a while since I've done a legit review, not just a podcast thing or think tank, which was my last episode talking about bringing it over into the MCU. You know, just a little plug on myself, you know, got to do that a little bit. All right, as always, definitely no spoilers for this. I know it's been out for a while, but you know, I don't like doing spoilers for things just in case people haven't seen it. That's why I do these reviews unless I'm explicitly stating that it's reviewing. Generally, if I'm doing a review and the spoilers, you're probably not gonna want to watch it, but there are times when I will. You'll see, it'll happen. All right, so a little backdrop. I actually like binged this show like in about a day and a half, give or take. I mean, I have a job, so I have to do things outside of watching stuff or playing video games, which is saddening, but also a good thing. I like having a job. But anyway, so I watched this. I was gonna wait to watch it. I was gonna leave it on the back burner for a while and be like, yeah, I can watch it at my own time, whatever. But actually, one of the few times I actually like, you know, let peer pressure get the better of me was because of one of my homies, like one of the halves of FM Comics. Check them out on Instagram. I'll put a link in the description box below. He was like, yo, watch it. Yo, watch it. While we're at work, and I'm just like, all right, cool. You know what? Let me watch this. And you know what? Pleasantly surprised. The hype was very much substantiated. Is that the right word? You know what? It delivered. It delivered on the hype. I don't think that there was an overhype on this show. Maybe because I wasn't in the real area for it. But there was an overhype for me as far as this was concerned, and I was pleasantly surprised by that. But enough on that. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends about it, share, all that jazz. You thought I wasn't gonna do that. I have to do it because you have to tell people these things because they won't do it on their own. No, but seriously, first things first. This is not your typical superhero show, like, you know, Men in Tights type stuff. It is definitely not that. Secondly on that, it is not a Watchmen ripoff in any way, shape, or form. It is its own thing. So I went into the show not really knowing anything about it except for the fact that it is based on a comic book. So I didn't really know what to get in it. Like, I didn't really know what to expect from it properly, apart from the fact that I knew that the comic was highly adult in nature and really was very graphic. So yeah, like I said, nothing to expect. But the first 10 minutes of this show, well, not even that, hell, the first 5 minutes of this show, yo, I was hooked because visually it was just like, yo, all right, Amazon put money into this, but also bearing in mind there were a lot of brands throughout this show. So I'm guessing there's a lot of sponsorship, but either way, there was a lot of money put into this show, and it showed visually within the first 5-10 minutes of the show, where you meet some of the characters that you're gonna be seeing a lot more of in this show, and it delivered. It was amazing. So now we got visually done out the way. I mean, like, that's a pretty straightforward thing. What about the story? Well, the story of this is, it's, without diving into it too much and obviously avoiding spoilers, it's set in a world very much like our own, but with people with powers. And when you watch the show, you realize why I'll say people with powers. The story itself is actually told in 8 episodes, which is amazing because it keeps it tight. And the story is tight as well as in the terms of being good, slang, and it's tight in terms of it's very concise and very much to the point. And I think the fact that it's 8 episodes really lends itself really well to that, because you don't have time to deviate from the story that much or deviate from what's really important to this story, and that's the characters. And boy, are the characters amazing. I mean, you feel the journey that they're on, and I say there because you see a bunch of characters and you don't feel like they're forced or that they don't have enough screen time, because you've got the boys and you've got the 7 who are, you've got good guys, bad guys, and in-betweens and stuff like that. It'll make more sense when you watch the show, and you have watched the show, you know what I mean. But everyone has a fair amount of screen time. Even the background characters that you know aren't really kind of major characters, you see their journey, at least to a degree, as far as the show wants you to see anyway. Like I said, it doesn't feel forced, which is really great. Speaking of the characters, well, you thought I was gonna say something bad. They're really interesting and they're layered. Like, it, for me, in recent memory, like bar, like obviously Daredevil, things like that, a lot of shows or movies, more so movies to be fair, kind of have characters that just do stuff and it fits the plot. Whereas in this show, the characters make sense. They decide things based on the type of person that they are, not what the story is telling them to do. It feels like they are reacting to the story rather than the story telling them what to do, if that makes sense, which I really enjoyed. Like, the characters were consistent. They felt natural. They felt like, I'm in this situation, how would I react to this? Not how should this be interesting for the story for me to react to it. And that is something really beautiful and what this show does very well. I mean, in terms of a culmination of everything, it's got great action. Definitely the action scenes that you do see in this are good. Could they do with a bit more choreography? Absolutely, because I'm actually a fan of like well choreographed scenes. One of my favorite scenes ever in terms of any comic book movie, one actually is Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, but that's with Batman fighting everyone in the warehouse, which was good because it was, I believe, done by the people who actually made the Arkham games Rocksteady, and that was amazing. But more so into other movies that I actually like. Captain America Winter Soldier, the fight when they get off the bridge with Winter Soldier and Captain America, amazing because it's so physical and visceral, whereas this show doesn't have a lot of that for me. It's very staged, but I think that also lends itself to what the show really is about. The dialogue of the show, which lends itself well to the comedy, but also the seriousness of it, and when they've got intimate situations, not just mean sexual, I mean like actual intimate situations when it comes to the characters and their growth and how they're feeling, it's handled very well and very tastefully, and it's not just shoved in your face like a lot of things in this show. Expect to see bare ass, and like, I don't think any of it is women's. Like, you see men bare ass, which, you know, whatevs, it's TV, it's adult, it's gonna happen, but expect to see that. But again, all of it done tastefully in the terms of, well, in the context of what it is, and that's really good. But with the dialogue, it's delivered so well for the comedic effect. Things are very funny. I love the dialogue in this show, probably more so than anything else because of how it delivers the overall story and how the characters come to life through the dialogue, not just the actors saying the words. The words themselves have emotion behind them and deliver the character that you want to see, or should be seeing, I guess is more accurate, I guess. Overall, would I recommend this show? It's a bit different to my movie reviews because they tend to be in the cinema and movie theater and so on. But this is already on the streaming platform, so you don't have to wait for it to come out on DVD or the streaming services. Watch this show. That's definitely what my takeaway for this is. In terms of what I mentioned earlier on in this episode or this review, it's not The Watchmen. And I think if you're a fan of The Watchmen, I think this will be very interesting for you and very easy to digest. And the reason why it's not The Watchmen and it'll be easy to digest is that this show takes a very different angle and a very different tone to what the Watchmen movie, I haven't read the comic properly, but to what the Watchmen movie did and does with superheroes in its world, because it's a very different world and very different types of superheroes in this TV show. Obviously, the message of the comics themselves are drastically different. Yes, they are both very dark deconstructions of superheroes and the world that they are in versus the world that we're in, I guess you could say. But the way they do it, the message that they send, and the actions of the characters in these comic books, the graphic novels, and the movie versus the TV show and so on, are done so differently. And it's like literally the message is different. And that's why this is not a Watchmen ripoff. And in connection to that, for people who didn't like the Watchmen movie and what it did, you may very well enjoy this because of how different it is. Maybe it's the more adult nature of the show, the graphic nature of the show, or just the characters themselves, which, as I said, are incredibly interesting. And the action scenes that you do get and the dialogue that you do get in this is drastically different to the message in Watchmen. Both comics and the TV show. Well, the movie anyway, and not the TV show. I don't think they had a TV show. I think they were gonna do a TV show, but anyway. With that being said, either way, to be perfectly honest, I think even if you're not interested in superheroes at all, this show itself holds up very well because it's not just men and women in spandex and whatever superheroes wear on their day job or whatever, because at the core of it, this is a story about characters, a story about people in this world that got things they gotta do and things that they go through, and showing their growth in that area of what they need to do as people more so than anything else, not just these superheroes or these people with powers. And that is the strength of this show. It's not your typical superhero TV show where they're dealing with these things. They just happen to be characters that have extraordinary abilities. Anyways, dudes, with that being said, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good jazz. Share it with your friends if you enjoyed this, and if you didn't like it, share it with the enemies so they have to deal with my face and my voice. You know, just share it out there, put it out there, people. If more people know about this, the better it is for me anyway. That's what I want. I want to bring knowledge to you guys and reviews and all that good jazz. Anyway, videos are going to be here in this area. I still don't know where it is, and I really should after all these years that I've been doing this. But anyway, videos there, subscription in this area. Dudes, I still don't have a sign off yet, so peace.